Hi guys, and welcome to my channel. In today's video, I got brake pads here for this Toyota Sienna. This is a 2017 model, but it doesn't matter what year Sienna you got, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. Long as you don't have electrical rear brakes, you're in good hands. I'm going to show you how to change these brake pads. So this is 17 model. I'm going to be using these AKEBONO brake pads. That's what's inside. Already did one side. One decision I need to make is, the hardware kit. I'm not going to change it on this vehicle because it looks fresh. The original ones are always better than the aftermarket stuff. But on this brake pads, I'm going to give you a torque spec. We're going to remove it, press the piston, and the hardware kit is all inside this box. And let's get this thing going. Okay, so we're going to make this job real easy and simple. All you need is, first of all, the 14 millimeter, and you're going to turn this bolt counterclockwise if you was facing it, okay? So there you go, in that direction. Only one bolt you're gonna take off, okay? And that's it. The top bolt, the pin will slide, okay, this is on this caliper. So we're gonna simply just take this caliper, and what you're gonna do is, you're gonna slide it, okay? Don't force the brake line too much. You shouldn't be forcing it at all, but it has just enough clearance for this thing to come off. Alright, so what we're gonna do is, we're gonna put the caliper right up there. We're gonna take off this brake pad. I want you to pay attention to these little retainers, okay? So we're gonna replace it with new ones, and this is a little tough. All right. So if you have a white flathead needle nose, just push the brake pad out of there, and it will come off. Let me go get my pry bar. So I went and got me my flathead instead of a pry bar, and this little guy, just don't damage the disc, just use a little bit of force. So this one also got this wear indicator sensor in the bottom, okay? So the next step here is determine if you need to replace the hardware, okay? Like I said, I did the other side and it looks pretty good. I even did brakes in the front of this car. Just clean them out. And the greasing looks really good on these pins. Always make sure your pins are sliding. If you need to use a grease, this is the grease we're going to use, okay? This is some good stuff here, okay? Silicone grease. So, what we're going to do here is just make sure everything's clean. The bottom one's going to have more dust than the top. So make sure this is all nice and clean. Okay, there you go. So these brake pads, what we're going to do is, if you look at it just the way they're going to go inside, we're going to put this little sensors on this, okay? Very simple. Same thing on the other brake pad. Alright, now we're going to put this brake pads on. So one thing I want to tell you, you should not be banging these brake pads in, okay? They should just go in simply just like that. If you're banging or anything and these brake pads don't want to move around, you see how easy they move around? You can file here a little bit, okay? But there you go. So, some brake pads will have this on the top, some will have that little hard metal piece, the brake wear indicator in the bottom. And when this car goes to reverse, in the bottom, it's going to hit the rotor to hit it downward. It's going to make a squealing sound, okay? So, this is done. What we need to do is compress our piston on this caliper. So, let me bring my camera a little higher so you all can see. There you go. Okay, so what you're gonna do here is, if you have a C-clamp, you can put your brake pad here, the old one, and compress it. But if you have a tool like this with a big flat surface right there, like that, you just take this, simply push the piston back in, retract it back, make sure you pump the brake pedal before you start the car, so you retract that piston right back. Make it nice and neat. The rubber boot has to sit in the spot. Just push it in gently. All right, that's looking good. After that, make sure all the dust is out. Make sure there's greasing on this pin. All right, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna simply just find it to line. The line is rubbing a little bit, that's fine. Okay, once this goes in, you can simply put this caliper in. If you wanna take off both bolts and make it much, much easier, it's all up to you. Torque spec on this bolt is 25 foot-pound. Make sure you put the bottom bolt in. Make sure you tighten it and tighten it to 25 foot-pound. If you don't have a torque wrench, it'd be a good idea to invest into one. But there you go. Job well done. Now this goes to counterclockwise. I am going to torque it. I just snug it there. But do the same thing for the opposite side. Job well done, guys. Don't forget to give it a thumbs up, share and like, and subscribe to my channel.